Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to our lesson today. We will be working on 2- and 3-digit numbers with regrouping. We've done without regrouping. This week we're going to continue to focus on with regrouping. First, let's go over our vocabulary words. Our first word is commutative property of addition. This commutative property states that changing the order of the add-ins does not change the sum or the answer. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 2 plus 4. Our next vocabulary word is identity property of addition. An identity property states that the sum of 0 and any other number is that number. So whatever you add to 0, it's going to be whatever that number is. That's what the identity property says. And the last one is associative property. And the associative property says that the sum of 3 or more numbers remains the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. So on this one, you can see 2 plus 3 plus 4. And then on this side, we have 2 plus 3 plus 4 is in parentheses. So we still would get the same sum or the same answer no matter how we add those numbers. So those are 3 of our vocabulary words for this week. Commutative property, identity property, and associative property, all of addition. Now let's get into our lesson. Let's jump right in. Very first thing is we're going to look at our 2-digit numbers with regrouping. So the first one that we're going to look at is 18 plus 19. So go ahead and write that number down for me. Write that number down. Okay. Now, we're going to figure out how we can solve this number. We're going to try to solve this number using some different strategies, just like we did when we did addition without regrouping. So first, I'm going to do it one way that I think is a favorite of a lot of people, but this is one of my favorites. Just to write this number vertically. And we've learned all about how to line up our ones and line up our tens so that we can get the correct answer. So I'm looking at this and I've lined it up. 8 plus 9 is 17. Very good. Now 17, I cannot write 17 right here under my ones place because 17 is a 2-digit number and I just can't write 17 there or my answer would be wrong. So what I like to do, anytime I add my ones place and it comes up to be a 2-digit number, I make a bubble to the side and I write that number there so I can see which number needs to go in my ones place and which number needs to go in my tens place. So looking at 17, I know that the 7 is in the ones place. So guess what? I can write the 7 underneath the ones place. But I can't forget about that 1 that's right there. It has to go somewhere. And what place is that 1 in? That 1 in 17 is in the tens place. So guess where it needs to go? I bet you already know. You're right. It needs to go in the tens place. So I write it above the 10 place. And I like to put a little plus sign beside that 1. So I won't forget that I need to add that in when I add these 3 numbers. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 1 more is 3. So my answer was 37. Now, let's see if we can solve this a different way. Let's do the same problem. So go ahead and erase this, what we have. We just solved it just by writing those numbers that are in standard form and we just added them vertically. Now, let's see if we can add them using expanded form. That's one of my favorites too. I like them all. But let's try expanded form. So go ahead and write 18 plus 19. Write it vertically again. Put your little arrows to the side because now we're going to write those numbers in expanded form. And we've worked on expanded form so long, I already know you know this, 18 would be 10 plus 8. 19 would be, that's right, 10 plus 9. That is the expanded form for those two numbers. So now I'm just going to add those up. So looking at this, 8 plus 9 is 17. 10 plus 10 is 20. And pay attention that I started in the ones place. Always start adding in the ones place. So now I'm not finished. I just can't leave it like this because I still have a plus there. So that's still telling me that there is some more adding that I need to do. So 20 plus 17. Some people can look at it and do mental math and say, oh, 20 plus 10 more is 30, plus 7 ones is 37. Some people can look at it that way and just come up with the answer. Or some people may have to write it. Some of us may have to write it vertically to solve that. 0 plus 7 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. So either way, if you can solve it mentally, awesome. If you're still working on that mental math, just write it vertically. And we got the same answer that we got when we worked it out vertically. See that? Let's try one more way with 18 plus 19. Let's try model form. Let's see if we can get 37 doing model form. I want you to help me out with this one. So make sure you have your 18 plus 19. You can leave it right there like that. Now we're going to do model form. So easy peasy. We've been doing this forever. So let's do 18. It has 1 10 and 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 18 in model form. 19. 1 10 and 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we want to add these up. We want to add up that model form. So first thing I need to do is count up my ones. Always start adding in the ones place. That is very important. That's very important. All right, so let's count them up. We know we have 8 here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There are 17 ones. But we learned something when we were working on place value and all that time. We learned that a bundle of 10 1 units, 10 1 units can be bundled up and traded in for a what? For a 10 rod. You're right. So guess what? I'm going to find 10 of these and circle them, and I'm going to trade those in for a 10 rod. And I'm going to use a different color marker to do that. So I'll make sure that we see what we're doing. Let's try red. All right, so I have 8 here, 9, 10. So I'm going to circle those 10 1 units. And guess what? They go away from the ones because I'm trading in those 10 1 units. I'm trading those in for a 10 rod. So I'm going to trade those in right there. Okay, now I traded those in, and now those 10 1 units, I now traded those in for a 10 rod. So now let's see how many 1 units are left now that I did my trade, or regrouping. That's also called regrouping. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1 units left. And let's count how many 10 rods. 1, 2, 3. You got to make sure you count the one that you regrouped and traded in over here. All right, so now we have 3 10 rods. My answer is 37. So we got the same answer there. Excellent. Now let's try a 3-digit number. Let's try a 3-digit number. Let's do 238 plus, and I'll put my plus over here, 146. Now I went ahead and wrote my number vertically, and I made sure I lined up my ones, my tens, and my hundreds. Very important. Very important. But now sometimes you may see this equation written a different way. It may be written this way on a test or on some other work that you may have. It may be written that way. Guess what? easy peasy. Just change it to this way. That's all you have to do. If you see it written this way on a test and you're thinking, uh-oh, now how am I going to solve that? Some people are able to still work it mentally, but if not, just change it this way. Okay? Magic. All right, so now we are going to solve this one. Let's try model form first. Let's try model form. We're going to try two different forms on this one. Let's do model form. So 238 plus 146. 238 has two hundreds. How many 10 rods? 3. 1, 2, 3. And how many 1 units? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 146 has how many hundreds? 100. How many 10 rods? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many 1 units? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have changed that number into model form, and now we're going to do some counting and some adding. So always start in what place? Ones, because we're adding or subtracting. Anything you're doing, starting at ones place. So here we go. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 ones. I already know that 14 ones means there's a 10 in that number. If I write the number 14, I see that there's 1 10 in that number. So that means that I can count out 10 of these. And what can I do with that 10? Who remembers the word I just said? You got it. You can regroup or trade in those 10 1 units for a what? For a 10 rod. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to circle 10 of those. And guess what? I'm trading them in. So I kind of like put an X so I remember they're gone. I'm trading those in. And I'm trading those in for a 10 rod. So that 10 rod can go, you can put it in either place. Down here or up there. I'm just going to trade it in for a 10 rod. So now I can count how many ones I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now 4 will go into ones place. Then I move to my 10s and count how many 10s I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then how many hundreds do I have? 1, 2, 3. 384. Now, let's see if I can work that vertically. While I already have it right here, let's see if we can work that vertically and get the same answer. 8 plus 6 is 14. It's 14, but remember, and I'm going to go ahead and erase this form, and you can erase yours as well so we'll have space to put our bubble. 8 plus 6 is 14, and remember, a 2-digit number cannot go under that ones place. So I'm going to make my bubble, write the number 14, and looking at 14, what number's in the ones place? The 4. So I can write the 4 under the ones place. Now the 1, I can't forget about Mr. 1 right there. He still has to go somewhere, and he's in the tens place. So guess where he's going to go? You remember, he's going to go in the tens place, and I put plus 1. So I remember I got to add him in with these other 2 digits. So 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. Answer is 384, and I just got 384 when I did model form. So I think we're on the right track. Good job. All right. In the last one we can do very quickly is expanded form. Let's do that one real quick. Quick, because we already know 238, the value 200 plus 30 plus 8, and then 146, you got it. Expanded form, the value of each of those digits, 100 plus 40 plus 6, and now we're just going to add up starting in the ones place. 8 plus 6 is 14. 30 plus 40 is 70. 200 plus 100 is 300. You see that? All right, now looking at this, I have 300 plus 70 plus 14. I'm looking at it, and guess what I can do? I can line up my numbers like this: 300, 70, 14. Line those numbers up just like that. I'm making sure my ones, my tens, and my hundreds are all lined up. So now I have 0 plus 0 plus 4. We just learned in identity property that any number plus 0 is going to be whatever that number is. So 4. Now this one is 0 plus 7 plus 1. So 0 plus 7, we know it's 7. And then 7 plus 1 is 8. And then 3, we don't have any other numbers to add to it, so we just bring down the 3. Is that the same answer we've already got? So we just did addition with regrouping in several different ways. We did expanded form, model form, we did it vertically. You all are super smart. Now I'm going to give you 2 problems to do on your own today, and you're going to make sure that you let someone check your work to make sure that you did those problems correctly. All right, your problems that I'm going to give you are, I want you to try 56 plus 28. That's one of your problems, so make sure you write that down. Go ahead and write it down now, and you can work it out after the video is over. And the second problem I want you to work is 236 plus 149. Work those 2 problems. Do your very best. Use whichever strategy is your favorite. Is it expanded form? Is it model form? Is it just writing the numbers vertically and lining them up? You choose. Do your best.